Members of the Justice Department and Peace Commission have staged a rally to discourage Nigerians planning to embark on an illegal migration to Europe. The practice has become so common here in the country that the group is calling on people to think twice before they begin the journey. Recently, the Nigerian government admitted that over 700 Nigerians had voluntarily returned in 3 months after meeting with the harsh realities associated with this type of journey. Now addressing journalists after the walk, the group has also called on the government to put an end to the illicit business of migration.
You have like 3 major crimes that enrich people's pockets, and they include human trafficking, drug use or drug abuse, and arms deal. And it's a very, 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 very real evil in our world. And interestingly, it will interest you to know that human trafficking seems to have edged its way to the top. From organ donation to forced labor to prostitution and every form, like even domestic child labor on the streets. Interestingly, a lot of people begin to think that trafficking has to do with taking children only outside the country. But you will also be interested to know that that accounts for only 2% of the trafficking that takes place in Nigeria.
And so we find ourselves in the 21st century with all its science and technology, with all its education and sophistication, going back hundreds of years ago to the primitive way we carried on in terms of, trafficking in human persons, slave labor, and some of those things that debase the human person. And we say no, that the rest of the world cannot be sleeping while these atrocities, these evils continue. And so what we are doing in collaboration with various organizations, civil society, is to ensure that we continue to bring things that really truly matter, the life, violence, and so on, that will bring it to the fore to make people aware of the dangers of the kind of violence we have in the society and indeed in the world.
First and foremost, the number of people who are being trafficked internally and the number of people who are being trafficked outside this country is so monumental that only few people can imagine it. Now, in Italy alone, there are 75,000 girls from Nigeria in prostitution. Now, every part of the world, if you go to Libya, you see the risk people take wanting to cross the deserts. Now, if you go to all these Maghreb, so many people are there trapped trying to cross the desert. People don't know about it. People are talking of the main reason for this is governance deficit and greed of some people.